The case involving Mukurweini Member of Parliament John Kaguchia has taken a new turn after the Kiambu court ordered his release from police custody upon payment of cash bail 100,000, marking the latest development in a case that has drawn political attention and prompted strong reactions from opposition leaders. The orders were issued on Monday, August 3 by Lady Justice Njoki Mwangi, who directed that the lawmaker be released immediately once the cash bail is deposited. The ruling came just hours after Kaguchia's allies filed an urgent petition challenging the circumstances surrounding his detention. In her decision, Justice Mwangi granted the application seeking Kaguchia's release from police custody, directing that he be freed immediately after depositing a police cash bail of 100,000. The ruling provided temporary relief to the legislator while allowing the legal proceedings surrounding his arrest to continue. The judge also issued further procedural directions designed to ensure that the matter proceeds through the courts in an orderly manner. She directed Kaguchia to serve the application on all respondents without delay. Those respondents include the Inspector General of Police and the Director of Public Prosecutions, both of whom have been given 14 days from the date of service to file and serve their responses before the court. In addition, the court granted Kaguchia permission to file a further affidavit within 14 days after receiving the respondents' responses, and if he considers it necessary. This allows both sides of an opportunity to present their respective petitions and also positions before the court considers the substantive issues raised in the petition. The court's orders represent the first major judicial intervention since the legislator's arrest, placing the matter squarely within the legal process while setting clear timelines for the parties involved. The ruling followed an urgent petition that had been filed earlier on Monday by the individuals allied to Kaguchia. This application sought to the court's intervention following the lawmaker's arrest and continued detention. As the legal proceedings unfolded inside the courtroom, questions continued to emerge regarding the circumstances under which member of parliament was being held. Following his arrest, Kaguchia was taken to the headquarters of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, commonly known as DCI. Reports indicated that he remained there for approximately 4 hours before he was later transferred to Kamkunji police station. His transfer became a focal point of concern among his supporters and legal representatives who sought immediate access to him after learning of his detention. According to Kaguchia's legal team, efforts to meet the client were unsuccessful, and the lawyers led by the advocate Ndegwa Njiru claimed they had been prevented from seeing the member of parliament. They further alleged that Kaguchia was being held incommunicado, a claim they made while pressing the urgent judicial intervention. Those allegations formed part of the broader concerns raised by Kaguchia's allies following his arrest. However, they remain claims made by his legal team as presented in the court filings and also public statements. Even after the court issued orders allowing Kaguchia's release upon payment of cash bail, questions about his detention continue to generate political reactions. Several opposition leaders allied to the legislator expressed concern over the implementation of the court's ruling, arguing that the orders should be complied with without delay. Among those commented publicly was Democracy for Citizens or DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua, and in a statement issued after the court ruling, Gachagua alleged that officers at Kamkunji police station had failed to comply with the court's orders despite having been served. According to Gachagua, the officer commanding station at Kamkunji police station was allegedly acting on instructions from senior officers and also continuing to detain Kaguchia despite the existence of the order, or rather the court order directing his release upon payment of the bail. That statement reflects Gachagwa's allegation that and forms part of the political response that has been followed, or rather that has followed the legislator's arrest. It has not been presented by the court as an established finding of a fact, and the unfolding legal battle comes against the backdrop of controversy surrounding remarks Kaguchia made during a public rally in Nyeri over the weekend. During the gathering, Queen Member of Parliament appeared to suggest that the residents of the Mount Kenya region who had voted for the Kenya Kwanza administration would face repercussions, and those remarks quickly attracted public attention and became a subject of political discussion. Shortly before his arrest, Kaguchia addressed the controversy surrounding his comments, and according to the information available, the legislator maintained that his remarks had been taken out of context. He argued that this interpretation was later used to justify the decision to arrest him. His explanation has become an important aspect of the unfolding case because it forms part of the response to the events leading up to his detention. For now, the legal issues before the court are focused on the lawfulness of the detention and procedures surrounding the application filed on his behalf. The court has not made any detention or the determination regarding the substance of the remarks made during the Nyeri rally, and instead the current proceedings relate to the application that resulted in the orders issued on Monday. The respondents, including the Inspector General of Police and Directorate of Public Prosecution, will now have an opportunity to present their responses within the timelines established by the court. Once those responses are filed and served, Kaguchia has also been granted the opportunity to submit an additional affidavit showing he wished to respond to the issues raised. These procedural directions mean that the matter remains active before the court, with further legal arguments expected as the case progresses. The development also highlights the role of the courts in the overseeing disputes arising from arrest and also detention, particularly where urgent constitution applications are filed seeking judicial intervention. While political leaders continue expressing differing views about circumstances of Kaguchia's arrest, the legal process is now expected to guide the next phase of the case. The court's ruling established immediate conditions for the legislator's release through the payment of 100,000 Kenyan shillings bail, while also laying out a structured timetable for both parties to present their arguments. At the same time, the public statements issued by Kaguchia's legal team and by opposition figures have added a political dimension to what is fundamentally an ongoing legal matter. As events continue to unfold, attention will remain focused on compliance with the court's orders, the responses to be filled by the Inspector General of Police and the Director of Public Prosecutions, and any further proceedings that may arise once those other responses have been placed before the court. That is all for today from Kenyan Media, where we give you news updates as they break. Kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing.